Hey folks, Gary here. Happy Friday morning to you. I'm here with Cole. Cole, what you doing, Cole? Cole loves the snow, loves digging in it. Anyways, happy Friday morning to you. You know, we've been talking about, talking about Christmas this week because it's been Christmas this week and the things that took place afterwards. And today I want to look at, Matthew chapter 2. In Matthew chapter 2, you've probably read the story. Wise men from the east come, and they come looking for Jesus. They come looking for the King of the Jews. And so when they come, they mistakenly go to Herod first. Well, I don't know if it's mistakenly. I think God organized that. But they go to Herod first. It just makes sense. And of course, Herod has no idea about Jesus or where he would be born. It's news to him. It's not good news to him. He's the king, and that really threatens him a lot. He's a very paranoid man. So he calls the chief priests in and says, dudes, how come you didn't tell me? How come you didn't warn me? They're like, warn you about what? He says, where's the Messiah supposed to be born? They say, well, in Bethlehem. Why? I mean, why are you concerned about that? That's not a big deal right now. Well, he tells the wise men about it and says, hey, he's born here. Cool, get out of that. He says, he's born over here. When you find him, come tell me so I can go worship him too. Of course, he has no plans to worship him. He wants to kill him. Well, that'll be something we'll talk about tomorrow. Anyways, the wise men go and they find Jesus and they worship Jesus. Now, the question I have always is, how come the chief priests didn't know about this? They're the ones who should have known about it. Yet wise men from east, they knew about it. How did they know about it and these chief priests didn't? A lot of people speculate that the chief priests probably were descendants of the Babylonians, the ones who captured the Israelites and had them in exile. This is going back in the Old Testament. And while they were there for 70 years, the Jewish people told them all about their beliefs. And these descendants of the wise men passed it on and said, hey, this great king is going to be born. You want to watch out for this. And so they've been watching for it, expecting this birth. They were expecting it to happen. They were expecting God to do something amazing. Whereas the chief priests, I don't think they were expecting anything. I don't think they were expecting it to happen at all. And because they weren't expecting, they didn't see it. They weren't watching for it. They weren't looking for it. They had put God into a box, and anything outside of that box, it just didn't fit. I think that's a good lesson for us sometimes. What are we expecting? Are we expecting God to do amazing things? Or are we expecting God to do things outside of the box we put him in? I think we should, because God's very, very creative, and we don't want to miss what God is doing in our life. He is constantly active in our life, constantly active in our community. He's active all the time. We don't want to miss his activity. We want to be aware and say, Lord, don't let me miss what you're doing. That's a good prayer. Lord, don't let me miss what you're doing. I want to see what you're doing. I don't want to be blind to it. I don't want to have someone else come up and say, hey, you know what God's doing? And say, I had no idea. Lord, let us in. I think that's a great prayer. So have a fantastic Friday. I'll see you tomorrow. And if you're here in Whitewood, enjoy the snow. We'll see you later.